Adam's welder. What am I doing? Well, this is by far not the best welds ever, but this is actually my first time welding. Been kind of playing around with that to kind of get the best. You know, really, I just want these two pieces to stick together and never come apart. This is the most awful. So anyways, kind of baiting on this thing. I don't think this is going anywhere. I tried welding to my old V8 mount as a test, but it's just it's too thick and whatnot, and it just won't weld it. I don't think it's the right material anyways. But this stuff is what I got from my hardware store, and yeah. So basically, I just mock it up. I gotta find some washers to space this out, but I got a long bolt here that'll work. So that'll make that support work. And then the other side, I'm gonna mock up for here. It's gonna come off. It's gonna be sandwiched in between this bolt and the bracket here. He's gonna come up like right here, and also support it as well. So that'll end up giving it a lot of structure there. And I'm gonna put gussets in the thing and kind of box it. So it'll end up being pretty strong. And it shouldn't have any back and forth movement. Oh boy, made a mess. Well, here we go. Oh my God. Well, hey, I mean, as long as it holds. So now we are official. We got this guy's trying to push on the bracket that way. It's kind of bending this one a little bit. What I'll do tomorrow is I'm going to push this guy over, get him bolted, and then I'm going to take a piece of stock that I have over here, cut a piece, and then right here it's going to get welded, and then once it does that, it's just going to hold this all in one position for me. Well, it is day 2 on the welding project. I think I have a little bit of dirt here, and here's what I got so far. Just about to I'm just welding up my little cross brace here to give it some, you know, torsional chooch. I think I can see a bit of a break there and a little bit of a hairline crack there. I'll probably go back and weld those up, get them nice and hot. I'm getting this cross brace in here, and it looks like it has already given me the strength I need. I just need to weld it up. So I think that one bonded a little bit better. I'm gonna get them as best I can, and I'm gonna go back over these and weld those up pretty good. I do need to elongate the hole in this because it's kind of bending my bolt a little bit there, so I'll work on that here in a bit. But right now I'm gonna get this thing out of here and do some more modifications to it. I'm gonna weld up some more there. So here's our bracket. It's pretty much done up. I went back and touched up some welds here and there, now crack free, and then I welded the shit out of this thing here. I don't think this bracket's ever coming apart, not unless you grind it. I accidentally spark-emulated my injection pump, but I didn't kill it, so it's all good there. The bolts I got from my rear fuel tank kit when I fitted this truck with a 38-gallon tank. I had accidentally bought an extra kit, or one came with the tank, and then I thought I needed the installation kit, so I bought another one, and so I got extra bolts. I had 4 extra long-ass bolts, and they are like direct, pretty much a slip fit inside the compressor. So this bracket here needs slightly larger bolt holes so that it can be adjusted or whatnot. So now it's not tweaking on the bolt and stuff like it was earlier. So one of these bolts had chowdered up, forcing it in there. I don't know why I tend to force things, but whatever. Anyways, I got the bracket all welded up, cleaned it for the most part. Now I just need to brake clean it and paint it, which I'm going to do when I get my other bracket made. So I got this mounted. It's solid for the most part. This compressor ain't going nowhere. It's mounted solidly. Now for right here, I had an extra case bolt. Actually, I think I got that out of my compressor, my air pump or something. I forgot where I got that bolt, but it fits in the threads here. So basically, case bolts here fit in the threads there. So I lubricated that one with some Seafoam Deep Creep. just so it'll be easier to thread in there, and got that in. So I got my piece of stock here. I'm gonna cut it off about here. I actually need to figure out where I want this guy here. Yeah, I think it's right at the top of that head bolt. I'll just cut that off, and then I'll make a piece to go from here. I'm gonna have to angle it, or grind it at least, and then it'll just come over here and weld up. So I'm gonna have to fiddle with that, so just taking my time. I think I got enough life on that grinder disc there before it's gonna blow up, so I should be able to get a couple more pieces cut, and then at the least I got the grinder there to take care of the rest. But I bought 2 pieces of this stock from Ace Hardware. That's just their part number there, but I think it was like 18 bucks for the 2 pieces, 9 bucks a piece. I ended up only needing the ones, but I got the extra one for other stuff. So yeah, that welder's working out perfect for this type of material and this thickness. And I will say I'm getting better with my welds, so I got that going on. Yeah. Okay, so here's the other support brace that I was talking about. I came up just a little bit short on this end, but that's okay. I got the edges actually beveled on this because I'm starting to do that because I forgot. I actually did weld for a little bit at one point when I took a non-credit course at PCC. I did that with oxyacetylene, and I was actually getting the hang of it and started welding, and I actually made some pretty good welds just doing it that way. However, I remembered if you bevel the edges there, you'll get a really nice weld in that, so I'm going to try that out. So I got this bracket in here. I'm just using whatever hardware I have laying around. I'm going to end up buying new bolts so I can get rid of all this slack. These 2 I'm okay with. This one I'm not, because how are you gonna get that oil fill cap off like dude? Yeah, so I'm gonna I'm gonna put my blanket thing in here so I'm not ruining this gasket and sparklate and everything. I'm gonna go ahead and weld that. Now I could actually bring this tab over. I can unloosen it, bring it over, and weld it that way, and then I'm gonna nip the excess off. But I got it sitting in its natural position. It's snug. So we've got good vertical support. I just need the horizontal so that when we put a belt on it, it's not pulling on the compressor and bringing it in that way and having the belt come off. I don't need that crap going on right now. So yeah, that looks pretty cool, huh? Looks neat. Let's see if I can make a decent weld on that. There. My welds are starting to get a little bit better. I think probably if I just ground down this metal to absolute bare, because I think it is galvanized, that would probably yield an even better weld. But that's getting a little better. I'm going a little bit slower and letting it kind of complete the weld, and that's what I was doing wrong back here. It was going too fast. So now I'm going a little bit slower. And I turned the wire speed down just a tiny bit, and I ended up doing a pretty sweet weld there for, you know, my skill level. However, just that side being welded up, this thing doesn't move. Yeah, we'll be able to put a belt on there, no problem. I mean, it doesn't budge at all. It's on there good. So yeah, I angled it like that, so now when I just nip it right off, we got most of the metal welded to that. I'll grind that down and check it out. I'm gonna go through and do the underneath, and then I'll take the grinder to it, make it look pretty, and then grind down the edges. I might even go as far as to nipping that end off there. I'm actually pretty much just grinding it. That's all I need to do. We'll be done with our bracketry. Can unbolt it all, and then take it over to the grinder, clean it up. Now I'm gonna brake clean it, primer, and paint it. That way it don't rust. So yeah. That's rock solid. Yeah, and I already checked. I had a piece of pipe that would normally go here for the compressor. I put that on and it does fit, everything clears. So all I got to do is get a hose assembly for a 94 F-150, and it will screw in here, bolt up here. I'll have to maybe rebend it a tiny bit, but I think I probably won't have to. And then it'll loop around back there and then hook up to that guy. I might have to tweak the end for not the dryer but the hose itself, because they're just slightly different but the fittings are the same. And then I'm going to get a new hose for that end down there to come up and over there. So I just have to get 2 hoses. I think it's about $100 for the hose right there. I got to get $100 for the hose. And then once I do that and I get that pulley made, I will then probably Jiffy Lube. My friend works there. He's gonna might be able to get a discount on that one. I don't know, but we'll see. But they're a little bit cheaper on the recharge, so probably I'm gonna say 2 to 3 weeks I'll have this AC working. I still don't have vacuum for the HVAC, but I think I'm gonna rig all the solenoids or the vacuum solenoids to be on max AC. I think the blend door actuator is actually right there, and then the other one inside the dash operates the door for the vents and whatnot. So I'll fix that. All right, there we go. She ain't the prettiest, but I'm sure as I get more experience, I can make better stuff. But yeah, this thing ain't going nowhere now. It's pretty solid every direction. So yeah, got her tightened down. She's secured into where the power steering goes there. Secured there. There's not a whole load there, so we're not worried about breaking anything off or stripping threads. And then we've got support this way, so we're somewhat tied together. So that takes care of keeping it up and not breaking this bolt off in the cylinder head there, even though it's actually got a nut through it, it'd be fine. But and then we've got this guy here, has a little bit of strength for support here, but mainly he keeps this thing lined up so it's not trying to pull everything when we put the belt on. So that should be good, and I think that'll last a long time. Now that we basically got it all painted up, I primered it and painted it. But I'll call that done. Now I just need hoses and a pulley and a belt and an orifice tube and a vacuum pump, and then we got AC. Oh, and then we got to charge it up. But I'm tired.